Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a general love reading for the collective. Not all of the messages that come through in this reading today may apply to all of you watching. So please only take in from this reading what speaks to your soul and what resonates for you and for your situation. And release the rest to the universe. So let's see what messages the universe wants to share with the collective today, please. When I hurt you, I hurt us both. I am so sorry. And you know what? Your person is hurting as well. And honestly, they probably need to hurt because, as we have said several times, pain is a powerful teacher. But your person is really having to deal and face their own broken heart, but they're also having to accept that they created so much hurt for you, that they created so much damage in this relationship, and it was really unnecessary. And while they may have done it from their place of fears or insecurities or whatever it was for this person that caused them to act out and to say mean, hurtful things to you, these are not excuses, by the way, because they should have addressed that earlier on. They do feel this heavy sense and this heavy burden of guilt that they're carrying with them, and they need to be able to face that head on. And for some of you, I do feel that this has been so devastating to your person that it's caused them to have a dark night of the soul. But again, they will learn and grow and evolve through that dark night just like you did, because many of you probably went through a dark night of the soul as well. And when they come back to you, you will see a humility in them, and you will receive a very sincere and heartfelt apology from them in person, because they do regret how much they hurt you. They regret breaking your heart, and they just feel such a heavy burden for all of the things that they did wrong. This tells us very clearly that your person is becoming so much more accountable and responsible to you, to this relationship, and to themselves. Let's see what else we need to know. What other messages does the collective need to hear, please? I projected things onto you, and it was unfair. And you know what, guys? When someone is trying to sabotage a relationship, they will project things onto their partner. And this can be a variety of things. For instance, if your person told you that you were manipulating them or that you were manipulative, it was because they were, and they were projecting that onto you. If they were saying that you had abandonment issues or fears, or that you were insecure, that is because they were projecting all of their issues and insecurities and phobias and fears and everything else onto you. And, you know, they may have even said that you were always operating from a place of ego, and you're always right, and you always have to have the last word in an argument because you're always right. Again, projecting all of their stuff, their gunk, their unresolved issues onto you. And that is a form of self-sabotage, because they were not ready for this relationship. They were afraid that you were going to leave them. They were afraid that you were going to cut and run, or that you were going to abandon them. So let's just create all of this drama and chaos because the end is coming anyway. And I'm fearful of this relationship because I know it's moving forward to commitment, so I'm just going to crush it and sabotage it, and then probably even make you take the blame for that. Projection is a very difficult thing to deal with, especially when you know, you guys watching the reading, that you weren't doing these things, and it could even be a form of gaslighting. And when someone is doing that to you, if someone gaslights you, it can make you actually feel that you are kind of crazy, or that you're going crazy because they're telling you things and you just know that that's not how it happened. That's not how it played out. But yet This is what they're doing. So they are acknowledging that that wasn't fair for them to treat you this way. This is not a new deck, guys. What we did was we took this deck, Divine Union message cards, and we put them with this white box background so you guys could see them clearer instead of it being written in white on the color of the card. So these cards are now different. So let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? I need to be more giving to you than I was. Well, yes, absolutely. You gave more than I did. And yes, you probably did give so much more to this person than what they gave to you. And that as well is a form of trying to sabotage a relationship. Basically, what your person is saying here is that you were so good to me. You did so much for me. You gave me so much love. You lifted me up. You held me when I was hurting. You made me feel better when I was sick, when I was going through difficult and challenging times with work. You were there to listen to my complaints and let me tell you about everything that I was dealing with and the people at work that were driving me crazy. You listened to all of that and you gave me great advice. You were always there for me. You always supported me. You were my greatest cheerleader. You encouraged me and you lifted me up. And perhaps I did that for you for a little while, but then I didn't. But I know that I didn't give as much to you as you did to me in this relationship. And I regret that. I feel that if I had been as equally giving to you as you were to me, then we would be in a very different place right now. We wouldn't be in this place of separation. But all of my stuff that I had not resolved before we met caused me to act out in ways that created this disconnect. I am not making excuses for myself, but I see this now because I have a much greater understanding and awareness of myself and why I did the things that I did. And I want to make sure that I never do these things to you again because you didn't deserve the way that I treated you. And I hate that I made you cry. Your person does hate that they made you cry. And they knew when they said things to you that were really soul-crushing, that it really hurt you, especially because you felt like perhaps you were so confused about what was happening. And that is very much what can happen in this kind of connection, because your person is fighting it all the way. They are resisting. And they put up those walls. But the thing to remember is they are not resisting you, the person. They are resisting having to grow up. They are resisting having to go through the growth that is very much a part of this journey that you are on with this person. And this is the growth that you both agreed to have with each other for this lifetime. You've had these experiences with this person for every lifetime, and you always both manage to rise up to these challenges and blast through the obstacles that are presented to you in each lifetime. Because part of the reason that you are in each other's lives is so that you can overcome these things, so that you can gain your spiritual awakening, so that you can have greater spiritual awareness and the personal growth that ultimately bring you to a place where you are living from the place of authenticity. This is what your person was resisting, not you. It's not because they weren't attracted to you. It's they were fighting tooth and nail against the growth that they were going to have to make happen because they didn't want to grow up. They just want to continue with their little mamby-pamby lives the way that they were, while you were growing and ascending, and they could see that you were growing and evolving, and they knew that they were going to have to catch up to you, and that was perhaps too much for them. But guess what? They can't run from the universe. It's not possible. When the universe says, hello, it's time to change, you have to do it. Or They're going to drag you kicking and screaming through all of those lessons, but you are going to get them one way or another. And that is what is probably happening with your person. But for your person right now, they are learning their lessons through their suffering, through the pain that they're feeling for hurting you. Acknowledging that they feel guilty, that they feel regret and remorse for all of this stuff that they did that was unfair and that, quite frankly, wasn't very nice of them. Really mean, rude, hurtful stuff, low vibration behaviors, and they know they shouldn't have done this. I will come back to you when I know I won't make the same mistakes again. Your person is learning here, guys. This is a period of transition and growth for them. And this is very much what this person needs. They need to have this growth. They need to evolve. They need to transform. And they don't want to make the same mistakes again. They do not want to hurt you again like this, okay? Through these low vibration behaviors, by saying words that were so soul crushing to you, by breaking your heart the way that they did. And they knew that they did it, and yet did they apologize for it? Possibly, maybe for some of you, but more than likely for most of you, they didn't. But that apology from your person is coming. And when they show back up, they will ask you to forgive them. They will apologize, and then they will take the time to show you that they have changed by being more giving to you than they ever were before. This tells us they're going to work towards rebuilding this relationship with you, and they won't make these same mistakes again because they don't want to go through their own level of suffering that they are going through right now because of these mistakes that they made. So let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? What do we need to know? Well, this is judgment. Actually, guys, it makes sense that judgment, I've got to get the stickies. It makes sense that judgment would show up today because this is about your person seriously judging themselves. And they know that they have acted and behaved in ways that are deplorable. They're embarrassed. They're ashamed of themselves. And you know what, guys? They should be. Because this is not how you treat someone that you love. Love and fear cannot exist in the same place. They were being controlled by their fear instead of being controlled by the love. Instead of following their heart and listening to their soul, they were listening to all that stuff that was going on in their head that was telling them, you're not good enough. They're going to break up with you. They don't love you. You have abandonment fears. Everybody always leaves you. Whatever it was that your person was listening to, they regret all of that now. And these are part of the mistakes that they're going to remedy because when they come back to you, they want to return. This is about them returning, this judgment card. They want to return as a whole person, not this broken, fragmented person that you were dealing with before. And you will see that difference in them. This judgment card is also about the restoration, the renewal of this relationship, because it's about your person wanting to reunite with you. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? The Queen of Wands. Well, your person is definitely attracted to you. They feel a lot of passion for you, but they also feel a lot of love because the Queen of Wands is the perfect blend of water and fire. All queens belong to the element of water, and wands are the element of fire. So the Queen of Wands is a fire sign. So if you or your person have your sun, moon, or rising signs in Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, this can be a place of validation that there's a message in this reading for you. You do not have to be a fire sign for this reading to work for you. These are collective readings and they are for everyone. We ask that you just take what resonates and let the rest go. The Queen of Wands tells us your person sees you as someone who's very free-spirited. They see you as someone who's very wise, who's very nurturing. They see you as a mover and a shaker. They see you as someone who makes things happen and gets things done. At times, it's almost like you have this magical quality about you that allows you to make things happen and do things, and they have always seen this in you. Again, they're seeing that, yes, I need to give more to you, because the Queen of Wands by nature is someone who is very giving. But they're also saying here that as they make their way back to you, they're going to have to be more respectful of you. And this is part of their plan. They know that they need to treat you with respect. They know that they need to treat you with honor. They know they need to treat this relationship with respect again, because what I'm hearing is they know that you're going to set boundaries with them and never let them cross those boundaries again, because you will enforce them. And if you guys have not set boundaries with this person before, don't be afraid to do that, because you have the right to explain to them, especially now, what is expected of them in terms of this relationship. The relationship is not going to magically fix itself. There's no big fairy godmother that's going to come down and bibbity-bobbity-boo and turn a pumpkin into a stagecoach and make everything in this relationship perfect between you. It will take you and your person working together. Equal give and take. It will take you setting boundaries with them. It will take you explaining to them what is acceptable or unacceptable behavior, what you will tolerate and what you will not. But your person knows that you're going to do this, and they're not afraid of it either, because they actually want you to put those boundaries there, because they don't want to make these same mistakes again. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? What do we need to know? Strength. Yes, there is a strong connection here between you and this person. They know it. They've always known it. Part of the reason why they perhaps acted in some of these ways that dishonored this relationship, treating it disrespectfully. They also know that it's an infinite connection, that it is an endless love that's here between the two of you. But they also see this tremendous strength in you. They see you as someone who has a lot of courage, a lot of wisdom, a lot of inner strength. And they are saying here that they know the two of you belong together because the love between you has always been there. And they felt that from the very beginning, when the two of you first met each other. Again, part of perhaps what they have been running from. Knowing that you're the one can create all of this stuff, all of this bad behavior, but they feel so bad for doing it now. This tells us they've had an awakening here. They've had a wake-up call. They smell the coffee. They smell the roses. They're drinking the coffee. They may be eating the roses. Whatever it is that's caused your person to have this awakening, something has shifted within this person. And this is what you have needed to happen, because you need them to not make these mistakes. You need them to not project these things onto you. You need this person to give back to you more than you were giving to them. But this is what they're going to do, because they see this strength in this love and in this connection. Strength is ruled by Leo. So sun, moon, or rising in Leo. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? What do we need to know? The 8 of Wands. Well, let's get this situation unstuck and let's get it rocking and rolling to the place of forward movement, to the place where the two of you are reuniting with each other. That comes with that Judgment card. The 8 of Wands is all about sudden and swift movement, things starting to accelerate and move quickly between you and your person. It's also a card of communication and your person reaching out to you, not you initiating communication with them and them ignoring you or ghosting you, or perhaps you're even blocked. I hate blocking. I hate ghosting. It's just immature, but yet we have these things on the top row. And your person is growing up, which is good because this Judgment card is also about the rebirth of your person. Becoming more mature, becoming more spiritual. This Eight of Wands is about getting things out of this place of being stuck to get them moving again between your person. And as you have these first conversations with your person, things may move really quickly, guys, because the energy between the two of you is intense. It's crazy. There's lots of passion here with the Queen of Wands and Strength being side by side. Loads of passion. So you may have to enforce a little bit of boundaries here and tap the brakes a little bit so it doesn't go too quickly, because slow and steady wins the race. Your person needs to regain your trust. Regain your faith in them. But this is what they're going to do. So just make sure that you don't allow things to go too quickly. Use your own judgment, okay? The reason I'm saying this is because if things go too quickly again between the two of you, because that's how these connections work, the souls are wanting to come together and merge and have all of that woohoo energy exchange that happens in these kind of connections. You don't want your person to be fearful or become afraid again. So that is the reason why I mentioned that caution there. So let's see what else we need to know. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? What do we need to know? Well, this is the Prince of Wands. Okay, someone is about to come charging onto the scene and get things unstuck, guys. Again, this Prince of Wands is all about movement. It is all about things getting stirred up here. I always think of the Prince of Wands like the Tasmanian devil, someone who just comes in and stirs things up and breaks things free and gets things moving, and just coming at you out of the blue. Big surprise when you least expect it, especially with it being next to this Eight of Wands. These four cards are so much fire. The Prince of Wands is also a fire sign, so that is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. But the Prince of Wands has confidence, and they will show up, and they will not be afraid to explain all of this to you. They will not be afraid to tell you how they feel. They will not be afraid to show you how they feel either, and they will be very passionate with you. This is also about your person wanting to have more adventures with you. They want to travel. They want to do different things. They want to go to different places. They want to have cool dates. They want to have new experiences with you, with this Prince of Wands energy being here. The Prince is the Knight. It's just that this deck is the Tarot Illuminati, and instead of knights they put princes, but that is the Knight of Wands. So there is a lot of energy coming towards you, especially with this combination of the Eight of Wands and Prince of Wands. So yeah, guys, you may have to kind of like tap the brakes a little bit, because the energy coming from your person towards you is going to be very passionate, very intense, but also very loving, because that Queen of Wands is also about love. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages do we need to hear? Broken Open. This card comes with number 28. If anyone resonates with number 28. And Broken Open is really about being broken open. During the time apart, your person has had to really look at themselves and examine their behavior. Examine why they were impulsive, because that Knight of Wands energy, this Prince of Wands, can also be someone who was impulsive in the past and didn't think before acting, and didn't think clearly before speaking, or perhaps didn't have an edit button, and that's what allowed them to hurt you. But during the time you've been away from each other, your person's heart has been broken open by the light of the universe, by the power of the people upstairs, and their heart is going to be so much more in alignment with yours as you guys come back to this place of this deep, powerful connection and come to this place of reunion and reconciliation with each other. This broken open card. You know, sometimes when you go through something and it's a lot of grief and a lot of having to deal with the heaviness of a situation, it does break us open because we cry until we just completely surrender. And I do feel that this is what has been happening to your person. Broken open at the heart, broken open at the crown, because they are receiving guidance from the universe. And they are listening to what the universe has to say. And that is the most important part right now for you guys. This card is number 26. And as we look at this card, we have to consider what it means here. If we look very closely, well, you probably can't see it, but this book has writing in it. And this figure is looking into that mirror and looking back to the past. This book has blank pages. And this door is open with this key. Basically, what this is saying is the door is opening for you and your person to complete your story with each other. It is about writing your story, leaving the past in the past, learning from the past, certainly, but leaving all of this behavior, all of this hurtful stuff in the past. Not that your person just wants to show up and just pretend that nothing never happened, because something did, and they know it. They are hurting from all of it, so they will come forward with an apology, and you will see a difference in them. This is about them saying, yes, I did so much in the past, and as I look at my reflection in the mirror, I am not proud of myself, and I don't like what I did, and I hate myself even for how I treated you, because you were so good to me. You were amazing. You were magical. You were wonderful. You were loving. You were passionate, and I hurt you. And I don't know why I did that in the moment that it happened. All I know is that I was reacting. But I do know now, because I have had an awakening. I have been broken open in my heart, in my head, and I am listening to my heart now, following my heart, instead of listening to that stuff in my head. And I want to continue our journey together. I'm going to open the door for you. You guys watching the reading, this is what your person is saying. I am going to open the door for you and see if you're going to walk through it. So this is about them reaching out and communicating with you and seeing what you're going to do. If you're going to respond, if you're going to allow them this opportunity for this rejuvenation. Deep diver, diving into a task. This comes with number 10. So, anyone resonate with jellyfish? Not sure why anybody would, but there are jellyfish on here. And then diving as well, free diving, scuba diving. And what do you do when you deep dive? You deep dive into a task. This means that you pretty much dig in and do everything that you need to do to make something happen. This is what your person's doing. This is what they're doing with this broken open. They are digging deep and they are finding all of the things within them that were messed up, that created the problems that made you cry, that allowed them to project all of their stuff onto you that was not fair to you, that caused them to hurt you. But it's also what is helping them say, I'm coming back after I have fixed all this junk, because I want to make sure that I'm never going to make these same mistakes again, because I am embarrassed. I'm ashamed of myself. I shouldn't have acted the way I did. And I'm actually, even for some of you, your person is saying that they're disgusted with how they treated you. And so they are deep diving into everything that they need to do in order to fix, heal, restore, release all of that stuff, whatever it is, their issues, their fears, their problems, all of that. because they want to make sure that they're never going to bring any of that back into this connection with you ever again. So let's see what else we need to know for this reading. But they're also saying, especially with that Queen of Wands being there, they also know that you're not going to allow that kind of behavior or disrespect ever again, because they know you're going to set a boundary with them. And perhaps you have set boundaries with them in the past and they just kind of like rolled over those boundaries. Another sign of disrespect. But they're not going to do that again, because this is about your person wanting this opportunity to restore this relationship. Forgiveness. This is about an apology. This is about making amends. It is about reconciliation and confession. Your person will confess everything to you. All of this stuff that they did that made you cry. They will confess how they gaslighted you. They will confess that they projected things onto you. They will tell you that they were operating from a place of ego or perhaps even narcissistic tendencies and even trying to blame you for that, and they regret doing that as well. This is about your person wanting to make amends and present to you a sincere apology with the hope that you are going to forgive them and that you're going to give them this opportunity to walk through that door, or that you're going to walk through that door because your person wants to present that key to you so that you can walk through that door. This is about your person saying here, I am so sorry. I really made a mess of things. But during the time we've been away from each other, I have been broken open by the power of the universe. My heart chakra is now open. It is no longer clogged. I am no longer protecting it. And I want my heart to come into alignment with yours because I want to reconcile with you. And I want the opportunity for this relationship because we have a strong union. We have an infinite, endless love between the two of us. And I know that we belong in each other's lives. I was just afraid of it before, but I'm not anymore. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What else does the collective need to hear? Ashamed? Well, yes, they are embarrassed. They may even be mortified. That's a good word. Horrified. Yes, that's a good word too. This is about them feeling really bad, humbled, humiliated, embarrassed, ashamed, horrified for how they treated you. So they are feeling a lot of this guilt, guys, and it is weighing very heavy on them. Let them feel it. This is the teacher that your person needs. This is how they've chosen to learn their lessons, and however they learn them, amen to that. We all choose to learn them in different ways. For some of us, we just go, okay, you know what? I need to change that. Others will resist and then make the changes. But like I said earlier, you keep resisting, the universe is going to drag you kicking and screaming all the way through it. Especially if they drop some karma on top of you. But this is about your person feeling the shame for how they treated you. This is one of our new decks, Divine Union Oracle cards. And there is a link in the description for these cards. Our new tarot decks are also available, and we will be using those on the premieres for both channels today. The one that happens at 11 o'clock Eastern Time on Soulmate's Twin Flames Tarot, and the other one that premieres on this channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as well. But the new tarot cards will be used for both of those premieres today. If you guys are wanting to check out the premieres, and if you haven't checked out one of our premieres, join us, because it is a wonderful community that shows up for the premieres, and everyone is just so loving and so supportive and so caring, and we all care about each other, and it's just a wonderful place to connect with people that are going through something similar to what you are, so you don't have to feel like you're going through this by yourself, because your friends, your family will probably not understand this kind of connection. And it's really difficult to talk to friends and family about this kind of stuff because they just don't get it. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear? Lessons learned with this beautiful snow owl. Wisdom gained, clear thinking. Yes, and that has happened for your person, especially with that broken open card. Look at that. Clear thinking, no more clouded judgment. Heart broken open, head broken open, clear thinking, being able to have epiphanies, breakthroughs, wisdom gained, attitude adjustment. Well, yes, that is definitely what has been needed here in this whole situation. And that is what is happening with your person. But these behavior changes as well. Because your person says here, I need to be more giving. And they will be more giving. And that will be a major behavior change, right? The other major behavior change will be them listening to your boundaries and respecting those boundaries and not crossing over them, thinking that it's just fine for them to do that, because they know that you're going to be more insistent on enforcing these boundaries. But this is also about your person, especially with that Queen of Wands being there, being more emotionally expressive to you as well, because the queens are all about love. All of the queens are about love, emotion, and feelings. So your person will be telling you much more readily how they feel about you. But the important thing with this card is they have learned, or they are learning these lessons, and that's going to cause them to come back when they know they won't make these same mistakes ever again. And it's hard being in this place of limbo, guys. It's difficult. But it will be so worth it in the end if your person comes back to you without all of this stuff, without all of their insecurities, without their unhealed wounds from the past, without projecting stuff onto you, blaming you for stuff, creating arguments, and then saying it was your fault. All of this stuff will be gone because they're learning how to be a better person and partner. So it will be worth it in the end, even though this limbo place is really hard on you, for them to be able to show up and be complete and whole and real with you. It will be so much worth it in the end, guys. So let's see what else we need to know, please. Contemplation, serious thought, inner work, careful consideration, and self-examination. Well, doesn't that look like this in a way? Yes, it does. Again, your person is being broken open by the power of the universe, by their angels and guides, listening to that wisdom that comes from above, doing this inner work, carefully considering everything that they have done wrong, not only in this relationship with you, but in other areas of their lives as well. Doing deep soul searching, that takes a lot of effort, guys. You know what that's like. You've been through it yourselves. And it does take work. It is not easy. Sometimes we even have to address our shadow side. And that is all of the stuff that is in the deep, dark underbelly of the subconscious mind. And yeah, that can be a difficult place to be. But you know what? If that is going to create the change for your person, then hallelujah for that. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages does the collective need to hear, please? Intuition, inner knowing. What is your intuition telling you about this person? You guys watching the reading. You know the answers within yourself, your own inner knowing. Well, guess what? Your person does also. And they are hoping that their inner knowing, because they've been broken open by the power of the universe and they have a greater connection now to source than they did before, Their inner knowing and their intuition is telling them that it is time to start moving this forward and it's time to start making their way back to you, which is why they're saying here, I'm going to reach out, I'm going to communicate with that 8 of Wands. Love, signs and meanings. And your person has probably been getting a lot of signs from the universe, just like you have, seeing those numbers, those synchronicities, different things, the same kind of car you drive, seeing repetitive numbers, seeing your name on places, hearing your name in different places, just like you do, because the signs are everywhere. There are signs all around all of us, all the time, that the universe is at work in this connection with your person. You all can see these signs and synchronicities. I just wanted to turn it that way because it looks cool that way. Let's see what else we need to know for this reading today, please. What other messages do we need to hear? Regrets, mistakes. Well, yes. And that has been clear throughout this reading, that this person does regret the mistakes that they have made. It also tells us that they're not going to want to make these mistakes ever again because they have learned through all of this, just like you have. You have learned and grown and changed through all of this as well, but this person is doing it also. Call, hearing from them. Yes, I do feel there is communication coming from this person. I cannot tell you exactly when. However, with that Judgment card being there, I want to say it's sort of like what we would call an anniversary energy. So kind of like around a birthday or a special holiday, if a holiday was important to you, or your actual anniversary of when you first met or whatever. So by an anniversary energy, I mean kind of like, well, yeah, like a birthday or a holiday, something that happens every year. Okay, that's what that Judgment card means as well. So perhaps you could be hearing from this person during one of those dates that were or that are significant to the two of you, like perhaps Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, your birthday, their birthday. Healing, releasing. Yes, hallelujah. Let's heal and release all of this stuff and get rid of it because it does not belong in our lives anymore. And that's what your person is saying here. This stuff does not belong in my life. And I allowed it to control me for so long. And I should not have allowed all of this stuff to control me because it hurt us. It hurt me, it hurt you, and it hurt this relationship. And I am so ashamed for how I treated you. I really regret saying those hurtful things to you. I regret acting out. I regret acting childish. I regret blaming you for stuff that wasn't your fault because I was projecting all of my issues onto you. But I have learned my lessons, and my heart is opening. My judgment, my decisions are no longer clouded because I am being filled with the light of the universe because I am listening to my guidance. And it's time for me to finally release and heal from all of these things that have held me back because I want to be the partner that you can trust, that you can depend on, that you will rely on. And as I make my way back to you, I am going to open this door and see if you are going to walk back through it because I want this opportunity to reunite with you. This is your reading for today, everyone. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all of you so very much. Blessings of peace, love, and light to all of you. Have a great day, everyone.